All right, hello everybody, and welcome to the 7th episode of the Hidden Figures podcast. Today, I'm delighted to have David McQueen and also a guest co-host, Salome. So, Salome, could you just introduce yourself quickly?
Hi, I'm Salome. I'm a lawyer turned creative. I do many things. I paint. I have a lifestyle brand doing skincare and massage candles, and I contract as a lawyer every now and then. But yeah, I love to travel, so I'm essentially building a working life around my interests and having a work-life balance that's more than just the 9 to 5, just a bit more dynamic than that.
Wonderful. And like I said, I've got David McQueen, who is boy. You know what? Actually, it's probably better.
I want to hear what you say. I want to hear how you see me.
I guess from my perspective, I'd call you a lifestyle coach, a life coach.
Okay, that's interesting.
You speak in schools. Mm-hmm. You TV presenter, podcast host, inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. It's all three of us seem to be doing a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I don't know if it,
no, that's fine. I'm always intrigued how people perceive me, so that's all right. So I run two companies.
Yeah.
One called Narratively, and that's where I either speak or teach people how to speak and present better, specifically within the corporate space. I used to run a company up until this year called Magnificent Generation, which a lot of people would have known me for youth speaking. I did that for 25 years, but I've parked that now. And I've recently started a new company called Legacy 71, which is an incubator specifically focused on black founders who want to scale their businesses.
Okay. Fantastic. So, like I said off camera, the way the podcast works is we kind of go back and kind of build our way up to the present day. So the first question I wanted to ask was where you grew up. I think I might be wrong, but I think you're from Northwest London.
I am indeed.
Which is where I'm from as well. So just kind of where you grew up, what it was like, your childhood almost.
Okay, born in St Mary's Hospital in Paddington.
Yeah.
Spent my first formative years in Harlesden. Son of a Grenadian and a Bajan.
Okay.
Again, I had a very, very good childhood. My parents were always, they were quite driven. Mm-hmm. I really enjoyed what I was doing. Then from 10 till my mid-20s, I lived in Harrow and went to school and college in Harrow. My early years of life, I was always, my mum would call me precocious. Okay. My dad would call me adventurous. And I've always been a person that I like to challenge the status quo. And even though I may get it wrong, and sometimes I may lose friends along the way, I've always loved being able to have that kind of challenge. And I was always encouraged by people around me, and I was just always surrounded by a lot of black professionals who always told me to aim high, and that I will go out into a world where sometimes people won't believe that I can do it, and they may take the colour of my skin as an issue, but never use that as a stumbling block, but always use it as a stepping stone. So from quite a young age, did a lot of things that a lot of friends wouldn't, legally, a lot of my friends wouldn't do. So I started my first business when I was 14 in school. It was a tuck shop. Made more money than their school. They shut me down.
Yep.
But I was able to buy the clothes and stuff that I really wanted to. Enjoyed music. I was brought up in church and loved being able to sing, but expanded that out, doing a lot of stuff outside as well. And music was really in my blood as well. So I've always been quite adventurous, quite curious. I don't like people telling me, actually I don't mind when people tell me that I can't do anything, because then that pushes me to go, right, bum you. I'm not going to swear on this podcast, but bum you. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make sure that I can do things that you tell me that I can't do. Okay. That's the essence, really.
Got you. Mm-hmm. Well, you said Harlesden.
Yes.
As someone from Northwest London, I know Harlesden. I know, like, in the 70s, 60s, 70s, it had quite a reputation. Mm-hmm. What was it? Were you exposed to that? Did you feel that as a kid, or
I did, but I was afraid of being beaten more by my dad. Yeah. I was afraid more of that more than anything else. So yeah, I originally lived in near Furnace Road, the school, And then I went to Stonebridge Park, and so we lived in Stonebridge Park Estate, Haskell House, I remember, before they knocked it down.
Yeah, not most of it down.
Yeah, so most of those flats have been levelled, and whilst there was trouble there, I think like any generation, I was quite protected, in that my parents, my uncles, and even, to be fair, even some of the elders who were the bit of on the troublesome side of, who got into trouble, they would always say to me, "Not you." They used to call me bookworm. So they go, "Not you, bookworm. You stay focused on your books, because we don't want you getting involved in anything that will get you in trouble." So there was always those individuals in the community as well who saw, even if I was slightly veering towards something that was bad, they would like be, "Nah, this is not for you. Keep away."